Donovan's probably pretty far on the bottom of the list in terms of guys you might have thought were going to play with the possibility of getting a triple-double in a single game. I mean, how has he developed as a player since the beginning of the year, especially on the defensive end?
You know what? I thought he was due. Coaches, we're obviously we're crazy, but we have gut feelings about things. And I thought he was going to have a good game today. He had good preparation, good practice, good walkthrough, shooting the ball very well. Had a clear head, knows that I have great confidence in him. You know, and we just need more consistency now. You know, but man, he played really well. 7 blocks in a game. It's just incredible. And that's an athletic team. So you know, he's not doing it again against anybody. Doing it against Marshall.
I saw you gave him a hug after when he checked out, just sort of like a congratulatory thing. What does it mean to see these guys finally do the things that you said that you think they can do?
You know, I think he was down on himself. He lost a little confidence in the Ole Miss game, and that went to the Pitt game, and he knows that, you know, I got his back, and I'm going down with you. So keep playing Penn State basketball, keep helping your teammates, and when your opportunities are there, take advantage. And I thought he did that today.
But you got 48 points from your starting front court tonight. I'm guessing you'll take that every game.
I'll take 48 points. Yeah, absolutely. I thought they did a good job sharing the basketball. The way they play, they try to speed you up, and they try to take you out of your offense. And we prepared for that, and I felt like our guys took good, open, in-rhythm type shots. But they're long, they're athletic, they speed you up, and it could go the other way too. If you're not making shots, if you're not making laps, if you don't hit your free throws early, it could easily go the other way. I mean, I'm watching the Vandy game, it's exactly what happened. They take a 14-point lead, and they cut it to 1 or cut it to 2 with the ball. So that's why our halftime was really critical, and getting a good start in the second half was important to make sure that we kept it where it was.
What can you say about the defense you played? Because a lot of times in an up-tempo game, you're kind of lulled into doing what they want you to do, and until the last 4 minutes, it seemed as if.
Yeah, I would take the last 5 minutes out. I thought we did a phenomenal job against their length and their athleticism and their skill, and they're tough too. So I thought we did a really good job defensively, and I'm seeing progression. You know, I saw it in Pitt. I saw it tonight. This game scared me. This game scared me. I watched this. I've seen him coach. He's a ex-Pitt coach. And I saw the Vandy game and other games, and it just scared me because they could get it going at any minute and score in bunches, and then next thing you know, it's a nail-biter. And I was really proud of our leadership from Tim, DJ. They were dialed in at practice. They were dialed in during film. They were dialed in today at walkthrough. And that's the type of leadership we've been missing, and we have it this year.
You talked about Marshall speeding you up, and it's probably a little sloppier than you would have liked, but especially early you got to the rim a lot and got open looks in transition. This is probably the most dunks this team's had in a long time. Were you pleased with the kind of shots you were getting when you were sped up?
I was, and it was, again, it was something that we talked about, and then Tim and I have a great understanding, Tim and I and DJ, we talked about if it gets too crazy and we come down, we miss a few in a row. Like we took a couple threes in a row and we missed them. Now we got to put the brakes on. Now let's execute, make them defend us in the half court. I felt like Tim did an excellent job of doing that as far as pushing pace, as far as bringing it back, knowing when to go. I mean, a couple of I see 12 turnovers, but I think 3 or 4 were in the last 4 or 5 minutes. So when you're playing that fast for 36 minutes, I thought they did a really nice job taking care of the ball. I mean, he had 9 assists, 1 turn. It's pretty good. How do you address the issue of your bigs have to stay out of foul trouble, but you also want to be aggressive defensively as the blocks have a challenge? It starts with the initial, it's either the ball screen defense, it's either a drive in space, a blow-by, as we call it. We got to do a better job with that regard because our guards, for whatever reason, something happens and our bigs got to have to help. And the last thing would be offensive rebounding. I mean, we did a heck of a job in the second half. Heck of a job. To only give up a few in the second half. But all that leads to fouls. So, you know, we still got a lot of room for growth, which is exciting because, you know, we just scored 90 points. We played pretty good defense, and we can still get better.
Ross struggled against Pittsburgh a little bit, but bounced back nicely today with 20 points. What was working for him today?
I thought he mixed it up well. We kicked it up to him. He drove it hard. I mean, he went to the line, I think, 11 times. He's 9 for 11. That's got to be a career high for him. What a really good shooting percentage for him. And then he just kept balls alive, did the little things that we need him to do. I felt like he was very comfortable out there making plays. Even though he had a couple turnovers, it's going to happen. He's just getting used to handling the ball and then kicking it up to him. So for the most part, he really mixed it up.
The last 10 minutes or so when the game is more or less in hand, it seemed like you were emphasizing a lot of this, not the sloppiness, but a lot of the minutia. How much do these next 4 games, I guess, at home come down to not so much winning, but getting the little things fine-tuned going into conference?
You're exactly right, and that's what I was saying in timeouts. I'm like, don't look at the score. Continue to play Penn State basketball. Continue to play hard. Continue to take care of the little things. Don't look for rest. Don't say, oh, I haven't shot in a while, it's my turn to shoot. Keep playing the way we play. You know, we're about 30, I'll say 32 minutes, pretty good. And then the other 8, we got to clean up. And the other 8 are really important. Because at Pitt, you're right there, you're down 1, you're down 2, you're down 3 with 2 and change to go. You played really well for 37, 38 minutes. But some of those little habits came out and ended up hurting us in the end.
We know you've been a little concerned about finishing, about coming out and playing strong in the second half. Up 15, what did you talk about today at halftime?
I talked about rebounding at 12. I talked about Canty, who was dynamite. I watched him all summer. Really good player. It's a great get for those guys. And then I talked about our identity and who we wanted to be. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be who they're saying we are, or do you want to go out here at the next 20 minutes and prove to each other what Penn State basketball is all about? And I think that's what you saw, at least for 15.
Coach, you mentioned they had 12 first half offensive rebounds. What did you see change going into the second half? And going back to before Pitt, that was an area you talked about preventing offensive rebounds. I mean, what do you have to keep doing to improve in that area?
It usually happens when we're in rotations. So when you're in rotations, now you got a guard on a big, and we're out of whack. So if we can clean up the initial, which we did against Pitt the first 20 minutes, we did a pretty good job. But we're too spread out. We're not finding bodies, and we're not aggressively going after the ball. So we're working on it. I mean, obviously the last 20 I was very pleased with. We completely changed. We got mad. I think we got mad and decided that's enough. We're not giving up any more offensive rebounds. It was nice to see.
Going back to Donovan, you said that you sensed, this week that he was coming along. Was there a specific moment you can kind of point to where you knew it was clicking, getting...
We talked after practice, Pitt, practice, and I looked at him, I said, I got your back, continue to play with confidence, have some fun, and he smiled. I was like, all right, let's go. And he was shooting the ball really well, and then in walkthrough today, he shot lights out. He shot lights out. He was dialed in, knew the scouting report, knew the tendency of the players, just was on point, helping Julian Moore, helping BT when they're at the 5, telling them what to do. When I hear that type of communication, you know a guy is ready to go.
Coach, your guys shot, I think it was 83% from the free throw line against Pitt. That's a pretty hard arena to play in. And then you come back here today and you shoot 81% clean from the line. Basically...
Practice.
Yeah.
I'll beat you to it. Practice. A lot of practice. Practice. Talk about it. Talk about thinking about routine, not having negative thoughts. We all have those automatic negative thoughts. I call them ants. Got to get rid of them. Got to get rid of them. We talked to John Gordon, the famous author, on a Skype, and he said pick one word, and I think everybody picked a word, and that's what they think about on the free throw line. So far, routine with the one word, it's working. It's working. It's not going to work all the time, but it's working for now.
One more?